Well, good afternoon everyone, welcome along then to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. It is game 3 on this pitch today and we are covering the Grandmasters European Cup. It's great to be here and we are going to see our first taste of the women's competition, just one competition for any woman over 60, and it is England against the Netherlands. England against the Netherlands just sounds like it should be a great game. It is the third game, as I say, on this pitch. We had a couple of games which you may have watched this morning in the over 75 men's competition. Wins for England and Australia against their Aussie rivals, the South Cross Blue, and a big win for the main Australian side in that competition. But we are focusing on this. Let's look at the sides, and you will see for England, well, Ruth Hine is the captain for this side. England won this competition in 2015 in their own backyard, 12 points out of 12. It was a 4-team competition then, and it is up to Ruth Hine and her side to see if they can do it all over again. For the Dutch side and for their captain Henrik Strijbosch, well, the Dutch only got 1 point in the group phase out of the 4 games in 2015. Looking to add to that though, Chantal de Kuber is the goalkeeper. She may well be busy as England have the real threat going forward, but we shall see what happens for Viljo Muji's side. So sides with the formalities, a bit of a chat as well, all the handshakes, good spirits from both teams. So getting set to go for this third game of this pitch, our first feature commentary game, and we've still got 3 other games to come later in the day from the tournament trophy over 65, the men's competition. That'll be our main focus, but we're looking forward to getting the women's competition underway on the main pitch here, and we'll have a few of the women's games across the week, including England against Scotland tomorrow, which, well, it just doesn't need any more description to that. Umpires for this one are Francine de Boy and Naomi Cato, both of the Netherlands. And it is the Dutch in their light blue and black, going from right to left to get us going in this opening game of the women's competition here in Glasgow. First real stage of the women's competition in Chigwell a couple of years ago alongside the London event for the men. And England off to try and get a good start. Marinda McTaggart was trying to make an early run. Chris Alberry out wide, and a bit of a duel with Cecil Voskins. Going the way back to England here. Here is the captain Hine, going on a solo run, just dotted behind by Ellis Hartman. Hammering by Hine, or attempted to anyway, trying to get there. Or the English side was Young. And very quickly, in what, 90 seconds, there is a signal for a penalty corner for the English. Bright start from the holders. And it's hammered by Christina Levitt. Strike at goal from Chris Albury. And the end of the move is the turnover possession, signalled by the umpire. And the Dutch survive an early penalty corner scare. Dutch trying to get forward with a bit of pace, but Ruth Young back. Ellen Walder across, and Sarah Tippin with the number 15 jersey. Sue Morgan with a lot of space out wide. Support in front from Albury. Excellent start this has been in terms of possession for the English. Nice ball rattled in. Just kicked away, and the deft little follow up wasn't quite going in. It was Christina Levitt initially with the effort at goal, and then just kicked away by Chantal de Coubert. Following up was Marinda McTaggart. Nice idea, just on the roof of the net though. Ruth Young picking this one up. Edge of the D there was Mary Pawson. It's a penalty corner, another one for England in quick succession. And the Dutch defence under early pressure here. So another goal here for English from a penalty corner. Comes towards McTaggart, crossed by Albury, and still bobbling around, keeper doing well. Levitt there, and they're going to score now though, England. And it looked like it was Ruth Young that was just waiting. Wasn't cleared by Chantal de Coubert, and there were the English to punish. And the penalty corner, it was patient, it was calm, it was cool, and then the finish executed superbly when the space opened up for Ruth Young, and it is 1-0 inside 4 minutes. Quick burst of pace. Stopped in the tracks with Sarah Tippin. It's a battle of two sides in the bigger squad, England and the Netherlands, with big pools of players in pretty much all the competitions here, which is great to see. And we covered the opening ceremony yesterday. There was just almost a full length of the pitch of English squad players, same for the Netherlands with their various trophy teams in the men's competition. Forward there came McTaggart, and once more penalty corner signalled. Must have, I think, rolled up off a Dutch foot. Clever tactical play from the English, and another chance for a penalty corner and for Christina Levitt to inject. A little loose, but McTaggart collects for Albury, but not quite in the plan book. It was not the best of injections, but they tried to rescue England, but Dutch get away with that for the meantime. Dimmick is at full stretch. Try and keep that in, but Dutch might be able to feel this could be their chance to just get the ball into a good spot for them. Forward from Henrik Strijbosch. Good one as well for Edith Leighton. Back is Strijbosch, the captain. Trying to wriggle by Young, the scorer. It's hooked up and the arms are out for a penalty corner at the other side. There's immediate protest from the Dutch players and a couple of passes into the opposition D. Now they've got an attacking chance. So, first chance for a penalty corner for the Dutch. Ellen Volder with the ball to inject. In towards Lisbeth Boone. But the air swipe, which is deemed dangerous with the stick. And a bit of velocity up in the air. And I thought, you kind of see what she's trying to do, try and feint the ball by and then get a shot away, but it didn't work out. England away up the other end very quickly with Christina Levitt. Needed a bit of help. Alongside was McTaggart. A good run this was. Levitt got it back and trying to sneak around his Hine. It's another penalty corner for the English. Penalty corners galore in the opening quarter here, and the opening game of this women's competition at the WGMA Grand Masters here in Glasgow. Another injection here for Christina Levitt. Taggart and Albury there in the pocket again. McTaggart sets up Albury. Out wide, it's flung. Again, coming to get in there is the injector Levitt. Hine wriggling by the baseline. Levitt there, and they have made it two. And I think it was Hine that came back to her, snuck in behind the defenders on the baseline, and England with a comfortable start here. The holders making an early charge.
Ik ga er zo weer in. Door, ze moet een stuk lopen. Hier komen. Storen, kom op! Wat zo lief.
Dutch trying to just wheel some possession in towards the 23. Sue Morgan just canny out there on the far side, had some support to a teammate and rocketed forward looking for Mary Pawson now up the front line.
Yes, it was during the time of the short corner, so you just have to wait until it's finished. Okay.
Into the D comes McTaggart, just in the fringe of the D anyway. Got the free hit out there. Warner Dimmick. Young. Trying to deftly roll it across the baseline. Not quite cleared. Levitt. Oh, almost like a bully there on the edge of the knee, but Dutch went out that little tussle. Strijbosch thought she was going to get a free hit, but England won it back fair and square. So the umpires, Strijbosch getting in the way, thought. Wriggling through is the second goal scorer in Hine. Cross for Albury and swoops away, quite linking up with her teammates in the circle, including Pawson. He was in the centre. Very, very bright first 10 minutes if you're an English supporter.
Pietje aan, voorhoede, kom op bewegen. Wil je ook aan? Wil je ook?
Everyone I saw yesterday.
Flywash again at the heart of trying to get some possession for her Dutch side. Isabel Kopp forward. Lisbeth Boone taking her time just to get the game started into the English half. Nice idea, but Nika Bernick didn't quite come to her. And then England get the free hit. Here's Young. I think some of the Australians that were on in their previous match on this featured pitch are now at the refreshments tent. The right of me, you'll see where England are shooting, enjoying the action here. England trying to get the ball again through Young, being a real playmaker in this first quarter, and they've won themselves on the penalty corner. Christina Levitt in the thick of it, and she'll be heading across the other side to the baseline, you'd think, to take the penalty corner once more.
Iedereen moest erin in plaats van één. Ja.
Oké, dan moet die lijn
So Levitt once more. Different routine for Hein. Lobbed in and clear off the line. Well, was there a shout that it was a hand? Looked like it came off the hand. It looked like it was like a football goalkeeper. I think there's going to be a card here. Is it? Umpire, I think, certainly taking a time decision. Just going to be a penalty stroke, I think. We will see. I don't think the card was flashed out, just a stern talking test. So they do have a stroke here, England. It's 3-0, and it is in a first quarter completely dominated by the English and getting the penalty stroke there. And the Dutch, it's a tough first 15, and what a start it has been for the captain Ruth Hein. 2 goals early on. Dimlock chasing Ruth Young. They're all winning that race. Marley's Breezers knew that, so just left it as well. The Dutch player that was down there. And here she is, looking to get it forward, but only found Ruth Young. Hein looking for potentially a spectacular first quarter hat-trick. Waved by Strybosch. And a little touch on. Edith Leighton is on a canter to try and get there. It was well defended though. A little cheer from the crowd though, which was nice to hear. A little flurry forward. It was a nice little bit of play though. Evelyn Van Rees. It's just behind Dimlock. Strybosch. Straight back to the English, and now there could be space here for Levitt. Hawson making a run to the circle. Rattled off the foot of Brazers. Ruthven quickly on with the free hit. Tried to burrow it wide for Levitt. Back it goes to the long corner. Final minute of this first quarter, England with a terrific start to it. Ruthven played her part, the captain, trying to wheel it in for Levitt. It's another penalty corner to the English. Caused all sorts of bother. Penalty corners. The Dutch are going to have another defensive job on here to try and keep the score to 3 in the final 40 seconds. Checked in for McTaggart. Albury, and still a little dangerous, a little high the ball. Just bobbled up, so it will be the Dutch free hit. Slybosh has been, well, she has been terrific, the Dutch leading her side at times out of some dangerous positions. Worked hard, got herself out of danger, couldn't get forward, but that is the end of the first quarter. England, what a terrific quarter for them. The holders started things off with Young in the 4th minute. Ruthven with a couple of goals, including one from the penalty stroke spot, means it is 3-0 to the English at the end of the first quarter. Welcome back for the second quarter. The English side were a bit keen to get started. Umpires aren't ready. So we are underway after that full start to the quarter.
Storen, Monique, storen! Before!
England looking to try and just add to their goal tally. They do score goals. They did so in 2015 in the run to winning the 4-team tournament. That was then in 2015. Into the D it went, and arm out against the English then. Mary Pawson trying to think of a delivery route now for England. We'll get the advantage here. Came off Stegman's foot, so and it goes in towards the D for Hine. Just behind there was a target. I think that one has bounced off it. That wasn't part of the stick. Young again in the thick of it, trying to get the ball back. Good bring forward from Ellen Walder, always under pressure with 2 or 3 red bodies around. Cross from Jean Scott Miller, who is one to watch. Scored 4 goals, second top goal scorer she was in the 2015 competition. And just wriggle through space. McTaggart flinging it wide. Levitt trying to get it back, looking for Pawson, but just ushered away by Van Lonkhuizen. Forward from Voskins, only to Sue Morgan. Turn from McTaggart, supports alongside. Forward from Hine, McTaggart. Right across on a swipe from Levitt, and that probably should have been 4-0 for England, but nice idea. Should have clapped at the move. It was a lovely bit of move and run forward, and a bit of good passing in there too.
Goed zo, lekker. En nog een keer. Pietje aan. Ga ervoor. Prima.
And then again back to England. Across the D, Shirley. Mary Pawson doing a juggle with the keeper. She's going to try and go round, and rattled off. Well, Lonkhuizen and some last ditch, but some seriously terrific rescue defending. And hammering him was Hine. Young. And the end of that move for England. Forward it goes, not quite falling down for Monique van der Velden. She has just won it back here though. Strybosch. Here the stick coming in from Ruth Young. Strybosch in towards the circle. Try to keep it alive was Copper. Vijgen again. England get it away through Hine. Turn from Levitt, trying to get the wrong side of Voskins. Young making the run forward and received it from Albury's pass. Young in, terrific. Take 2 for Pawson. Keeper sliding across. Well, she's conceded 3 times in the game so far, but Chantal de Kubert has had A terrific game already. Smothered and stopped quite a few shots, danced her way around into some decent positions. Now just sought like her footwear, her pads. Impressive, because they've had a barrage of pressure. Have the Netherlands here in this game. Flags into the circle, it might bounce for Albright. And a tussle with Voskins, penalty corner against the Dutch player. Netherlands have been far more disciplined in this quarter defensively, but it is a tough job when they're constantly under so much pressure. And now Christina Levitt is across once more. And there might be trapped for Hine, who's just in behind the two players on the edge of the D. We shall see. It's been favourite to come to McTaggart most of the time. In fact, it does come straight to Ruth Hine. Nice move, nice idea. They just rolled underneath the legs of one of the English players. Still alive here though for McTaggart, who went and chased it. A little coming together with Ellen Walder. Off the ball. Still with England and still with McTaggart, who got it back from Young. Taggart. And again, Young now. Look at all the blue jerseys back trying to defend. Hine. Penalty corner again. So Levitt with the injection once more in towards Hine. Plus for Sarah Tippin to fire. And the follow-up couldn't be found. And the second effort from McTaggart goes wide. It was Levitt that was on the left post. Injector looking to try and sneak in. But the follow-up wasn't found either. That's with a foray for Mika Van Hassel. Number 7 in her back gets the free hit. 7 minutes to half time. And this WGMA Grandmasters European Cup over 60 women's competition. Just the one category in the women's competition. But anyone over the age of 60 playing. And the sides involved, pool phase, so the winner of the pool wins the competition. Barbara Oliver. Support behind and Tippin. Ruth Hine trying to keep it alive. Pawson had to, or Sue Morgan rather, had to make the chase. Kept it in. Lovely space spotted for Barbara Oliver again. Just cut out by Breezers. And spotted a good gap for a little break for Copper. It's still been one-way traffic for the most part, but the Dutch have been more disciplined and at times gotten a crucial little block or two just to take some of the pressure off more legally this time. They've conceded far less in penalty corners. Real credit in the second quarter, they've dug in exceptionally well. You get 3-0 at the break, I think that would be a good reward. Strivers though tries to fling it across. Copper losing it. And look at the run here. Here is Ruth Hine. She spotted the space. She's running it herself. Could tee it up for teammate. And again, Chantal de Cuba. Big cheer. Big Dutch support. And some of the other players from other teams watching on. Big applause for her. And no wonder. Chance missed for Christina Levitt.
vangt het op, kom op.
Again, steady play. Levitt. Over alongside. She's found. Just disrupted by Brazers. Into the circle it goes again. Surely. Another block of some sorts of incredible amounts from the Dutch. Mary Pawson denied. I said surely I think 3 or 4 times when it came to someone in the D for England. It just could look like it was an open up. Again, either the goalkeeper or a defensive tackle comes in. And terrific from the Netherlands. Slyborst rescues that after she lost control of the ball, having to go the long way around, just flicks it away, looking for a bit of help from Bernick. Taken by Oliver, bounces off like Tiger and a turnover of possession.
Hier bij de middenlijn. Oh, daar krijgen we ook een opmerking over.
Niet te snel erin. Moet ik er nou dadelijk...
Ik zei maar even
Krijg jij, Sebastian. Niet voorlopen.
Ball back to England. Hein quickly taking it into the D. Turn from McTaggart, but the umpire's arms out. Back to the Dutch, trying to hold off and keep the score at 3 at least until half time. Evelyn Van Rees making a foray forward. Nika Van Hassel, big cheer, she steals it off Barbara Oliver. Taken back by Hein.
Naar buiten Marjolein! Ja, lekker Marjolein.
Levitt looking to get by Stegman.
Kijk het dadelijk naar de rust.
Turn from Ruth Hein in towards the edge of the circle. Hammered in there once more. And safety first clearance in the heart of the defence from Jacqueline Van Lonkhuizen.
Ja, oké!
And this is ball cut out, but with such velocity that Tippin lost her stick and lost the ball as Van Hassel now with a break. Only Edith Luyton directly in front, some support coming in, but well won back by Jean Scott Miller.
Ja, oké. Oh, jammer. Maakt niet uit, Hans. Kom op.
Nog een halve minuut, dan.
Erop, hè, Evelien dan.
Ja, oké.
Goed werk.
Well, 20 seconds left of the quarter. Dutch have a free hit in halfway. Well, real hats off to them. Although they're 3-0 down the scoreboard, they have hung in really, really well. And they've been put under more pressure. You could see more discipline because they've conceded far less penalty corners and really snuffed out England. And it might give them a little bit of confidence, not showing maybe too much in the final third, but they have kept the score down because you did worry after the first 15, with England maybe going to rattle 2 or 3 more goals in the second quarter, but they stem the tide and have played well defensively in the second quarter, have the Dutch. England have the lead though, thanks to goals from Ruth Young and 2 from the captain Ruth Hine, one of them coming from penalty strokes in that first quarter. All the goals coming in the first quarter, and at the break it is England 3, the Netherlands 0. We'll be back shortly for the third quarter, and we'll leave you with some of the best bits of the first 2 quarters so far.
Nou jongens. Kunnen we het nou... We hebben nog geen stollingsminuten gehad in ieder geval.
Welcome back then for the third quarter here between England and the Netherlands, and it is going to be a tough task for the Dutch, you suspect, to continue their defensive pressure that they had to resist and keep the ball out the back of the goal for particularly the second quarter, which they did so well after they were 3-0 down after the first 15 minutes, but you might get very tired. England have been very dominant in the final third. We shall see what happens as the women's over 60 competition, the sole women's competition, just open to anyone over the age of 60. And into the DL it goes. Levitt, and it bounced up, I think. Signal for the leg from the umpire. So within what, 45 seconds, it is a penalty corner. Christina Levitt's taking all the penalty corners. And she will get the first injection of the second half, third quarter. Albury and McTaggart in the middle as well. Umpire trying to make sure all the Dutch are ready. Goes behind them both in the centre, Hine, but here is Albury. And away off the feet from Parsons' shot. Chantal de Couber, another big save from her. It was straight at it. Had to do her job. There's the long corner. Ruth Hine in. 1-2 with McTaggart. Being pushed that way, that Annick Bernick. Well to try and get it back and taken by Strijbos, but it will be an English free hit. When it goes, rattled through for McTaggart. Away out it goes.
Precies, bewegen. Ja, en loop toe. Wie moet ik dan wisselen? Je speelt gewoon minder, omdat je... Ja, maar met wie moet ik dan wisselen? Jij kan wisselen met iedereen of met...
Quickly back with English possession. Cut out well. Only briefly back. So Albury trying to wriggle into the D. Does get the free hit. On the edge of the circle. Albury in, looking for McTaggart. Rolled across and goal for Christina Levitt. And it is number 4 for England, and it, well, I was going to say it has been coming, it's been coming all game really, these goals, but the pressure of the second quarter, they held off the Dutch. It's not taking long in this third quarter for England to stretch and lead that a little bit more.
Lekkere bal! Ja, kom op, erop af! En erachteraan, ja, goed zo! Erachteraan!
Levitt's general play for England, a long taken penalty corner has been a menace. Probably deserved of that goal.
Aan de lijn. Mooi! Aan de lijn. Storen! En terug! En erachteraan! Kom op! Dit is de bedoeling. Ja, goed zo. Speel je weer op!
Turn away from Miranda McTaggart. Chris Albury coming in. And another penalty corner up off foot and leg.
Nee, het is geen corner.
Het is geen corner, of wel? Jawel, jawel, jawel. Het is wel een corner.
Ja.
Oh, ja, wel. Wacht even niet, het is een corner. En dan moet je gewoon echt de bal uit de stukken. Even niet, als de bal uit de stukken.
So now she's got one in the bag in terms of goals. Christina Levitt looking to yet again provide an opportunity for another. In the pocket, the captain is going to get it back. Surely, hat-trick. Oh, oh, goodness me. I'm going to stop saying surely when it comes to almost certain goals because England have squandered them. I was about to say hat-trick for Ruthine, bounced up off Levitt's body and didn't even bounce off her stick to score, and England keep it at 4, but he sense they're just going to start off another attack.
Erbij hierheen, kom op. Constant erbij, hè? Er moet er geen bal in kunnen staan. Sorry. Laat je stick zien, waar we hem hebben.
Irene Bracco trying to get away. Van Hassel looking for Van Rees. Back throw was high for England. Now Matt Rivers having on the second period and trying to get away from any real quiet threat of Dutch danger, which they've not had too many moments the Dutch side. Here is Matt Rivers though. Forward from Albury in towards Pawson and helping there too from McTaggart. Back with Albury in the edge of the D. And coming in his tip in, penalty corner, no advantage. Penalty corner signal anyway. Sticks were flying all over the place. And another chance for England. Really sense that Ruth Hines really wanted a hat trick here. English captain. Levitt will inject and maybe try and stay out the way this time if it comes towards goal. So Levitt in for Ruthine, decides to play Albury. Oh, it's skipped. And another penalty corner rattled up off Mulder. Mary Pawson in the right spot just to head it towards goal. It was safe height despite the protest of Hannik Strijbos. She says it was dangerous but wasn't high enough. It was a shot, but they are maybe going to have a little chat about it, the umpires. Enough whisper in the ear from Hannik Strijbos just to maybe take the conversation between the two umpires, but the two officials just checking and arm up and okay, we'll get on with it, says Hannik Strijbos. It is going to be a penalty corner after all that. Levitt, it's a bit fired for Hine. She does receive it back, but it was a little loose that time. Oliver tried to rescue it. Here is McTaggart. Arjibaji with Van Lookhuizen. Free hit though. Back it comes for Carol Travers. Cross from Tippin. Didn't reach Albury. Away from danger by Voskins. Flung across. Strijbos. Only Van der Weijden into the D space. If there's any chance of a long ball, not too many Dutch players understandably getting forward. Oliver comes across for McTaggart. And once more, the foul conceded in the day. And it's back to putting on the protective gear again for the Dutch. Levitt again in, just behind Hine. Hine across for Oliver. Hine. By it goes from Chris Albury. 3 out of the 4 goals for England came from penalty corners or penalty strokes. 2 of them from corners, another from a stroke. They have had so many, though. Must be at least about 20 now they've had in the game. So maybe you could argue if you're at the top end or the real analytical type, if you've had about 20 penalty corners and scored, well, 2 penalty corners from 20, then percentage rate is a bit low, but they're getting the chance anyway, and they have been fairly steady in third gear, you'd say, despite having all the possession and pressure.
Ja, heel goed gedaan.
Oliver. Albury. Dutch get it back. And we'll be with the English on the 23. As it comes for tipping, and by goes from Mary Pawson. Ball raked through to her, missed by Dutch players, wasn't cleared, invited the tap towards goal just by that right post. Coming back here, Hine forward. Pawson trying to keep it in her path. Got the advantage. Albury into the D to McTaggart. Enough defensive work done just to get out of the D by Ellis Hartman. Brings up off Target's body.
Edith, zullen we spelen? Ja, kom maar.
Tip in for Pawson. Albury. Off the foot of Barbara Oliver. Oliver getting this one back, just about, tried to anyway. Nice long ball, and Oliver does have it back now. Rattled into the just behind Pawson. I think moulded it enough to stop it coming to the English player, the English forward. Good run this from Matt Travers. Oh, ball never quite came back to her. Then it goes for tip in. Play on. And the shot from McTaggart wriggles away by the baseline. 3 minutes left of this third quarter. England still in the fast forward one-way mode of attack.
Gewoon het leven, dat is het leven gewoon. Niks. Nee, ik geloof het niet. Maar ik kan er altijd weer iets veranderen. Ga maar.
Free hit England. Ruthine quickly on with it. Swiped by Albury. Couldn't get any contact. Again, at the start of this third quarter, you did think, when England made it 4-0 so quickly, they could go and score a couple more like they did in the first quarter. But again, the Dutch just had a bit of a wake-up call after that. I have stemmed it a little bit. Although they have been pretty much camped in their own 23-metre area. This is a competition which has expanded a little bit with 6 sides are involved, 2 English sides, the main English side and the LX ladies, the 2 alliance sides, the Netherlands here and Scotland have a side involved. As we said, we will see the game tomorrow on their feature pitch here, our television pitch. England against Scotland is at 12:20 tomorrow, so that will be rather tasty.
Goed Ellen, voor 3 man.
En dan wisselen op dezelfde op de andere manier.
Cross to Miranda McTaggart. She'll get the free hit quickly to tip in. Good stuff from Isabel Copper. That's it, half away. Here comes Heinthal down the other side. Good ball, no one there to collect in red.
We zijn er ook gelijk vanaf. Oh, absoluut.
Leven, ja oké Edith.
It is free hit for England, but time almost up and just taking the sting out of it. Well, that is the end of the third quarter. Just the one goal, a goal from Christina Levitt at the very start of the quarter in the 33rd minute has added to the scoreboard. England still one-way attack from them. It is England 4, the Netherlands 0. underway then for the fourth quarter, final quarter. England with a 4-0 lead as they start their defence of this competition, which they won in their own backyard in 2015. Goals are plenty in the first quarter. 3 in fact, Ruth Young in the 4th minute, 2 goals from Ruth Hine in the 9th and the 12th minute, one of them from Pelty Stroke, and then the other goal coming at the start of the 3rd quarter through Christina Levitt. And at certain times you thought maybe this could be 6, 7, 8, but the Dutch have played their part in trying to keep England out. Then comes Judith Masters, who's making an appearance now for England into the circle. Also in the Albury penalty corner inside the first minute of the quarter. Change up in injections, it is going to be Masters. Hine is in that pocket. Ruth Hine saved by the foot of the Kuba. She gets a cheer every time she does one of her terrific saves. But after all that, they haven't got the gear back on the Dutch for another penalty corner. So then it goes again, this time for Albury. Oh, and didn't quite fall for Masters. I think it bites off her foot. And now the keeper just put her off. Giving quite a quick impact off the sidelines. Decent crowd in here for day 2 of the Grandmasters European Cup. Great to have you with us, whether you're a supporter of these sides or just enjoying the Masters hockey on our live coverage on YouTube and on Facebook. It's great to have you on board. England in cruise control. Not away though for Van Lonkhuizen to try and clear. Tippin is trying to fight the supports alongside. It is going to be the English ball though. Out wide is Young. And they'll open the scoring for England. Now into the circle. Masters dancing around. She, I think, initially in the way of each other with, I think it was Pawson, certainly one of our teammates. In the end, comes to nothing for England.
Ja, lekker! Heel lekker! Nou, oké. Kom op, erbij, Edith! Kom op, erbij! Vang hem op! Blijf maar door, meiden, kom op! Eventjes bijten, nog lief. Kom op! Nou. En erop, en erop, en erop. En nog een keer. Ja, lekker. Kijk.
Oh, not quite the pass falling through for Leighton from Isabel Coppett. A rare rail flying forwards for the Dutch. I don't think it went for it at all in the third quarter. I can't remember being the English 23, let alone the D. However, trying to scoop that back is a divide in, but and then just calm it down with Hein, but that wasn't too calm the pass. It was a rocketed pass which couldn't be found by Morgan. There's a wriggle into the D, but it is going to stay with England. Masters who just snuck on towards the end of the third quarter. Have been live in the fourth quarter. Hein, a little slip from Isabel Coppett.
Oh, lekker Chantal!
England can't work anything with that. Belgium turn it around.
Hanneken, even erin. We hebben een kramp. De plaats van Jacques. Ik denk dat ik terug moet spelen. Jacques naar de plaats van Hanneken.
Hein with the ball, turn from McTaggart, space opening up. England looking to add to their goal. There was a real chat down on the sidelines when they're in their huddle at the end of the third quarter that don't just slacken off the pace, try and keep the tempo up, try and get more goals. So not just having a little last 15-minute jaunt here. There is 8 minutes left on the clock. England still trying to work through and get another goal, but the Dutch defence, despite the 4 goals conceded, has been very, very resilient despite all the pressure. Young into the D. Masters, Levitt. Masters trying to get it back. Levitt looking to maybe sneak it. And in the end, it is going to be a penalty corner in there. I think players kind of all over the place. Obstruction possibly for the Dutch. So it goes back with Levitt. Refine. Taggart was blocked. Reesers has been out. Argy-bargy at times.
Dus dan moet ik niet doorgaan, want dan ben ik niks. Ja? Ook al 5 seconden. Ik weet weer beter een versje erin.
Another penalty corner to come. Getting in for Ruthine. Albury. Another kick away by the keeper. Masters trying to wriggle it behind, but that'll come to an end. And again, the Dutch just staving off the sustained pressure. Quite quickly back wriggles for Levitt. Penalty corner again.
eerst. Ik heb nog even niet gespeeld. Ik vraag het daarom eerst even.
So, another penalty corner routine. They've kind of stuck to similar routes, but they're going to go with McTaggart. Back into Hine. Levitt, keeper again. Kicking away. De Kubert. Even at 4-0, I think she would get the player of the match for some terrific displays. Long corner taken by Albury for McTaggart, but turnover possession. One was up quickly from Jacqueline van Lonkhuizen, and she has on the possession back for her side. Not for long do the Dutch have it.
Oké, Marjolein! Even niet, ga maar!
De laatste 5 minuten kan ik wel even gaan spelen, hoor. Of ja, dat is
We hebben dinsdag
Hou
nog
wel
een
lekker warm of
belangrijke.
zo. Je trainingsbroek aan.
Die gewoon stenen
Wees maar lekker even.
Ja, maar je moet niet op die stenen zitten.
Kom maar, je kop is stad.
Doe een broek aan, Ellen.
Ja, prima, Hanneke, doe!
5 minutes then we're heading to now, and I think Strybosh is a player that hasn't given up and tried to wriggle through the ball for Irene Brackle making the run. Rattle Rice smile and a little hand up saying nice idea. Got 1 or 2 smiles in the stand. Forward from McTaggart, hitting towards Sarah Masters. Back it comes in the 23 for England. McTaggart nearly got all the tents up actually on the edge of the 23, pretty much, because they've been there pretty much the whole game. So there remains just the 4 goals. Tippin will fire in towards the knee once more, trying to edge it away. Levitt though, another terrific performer, I should say, in this English side. Wonder if 1 or 2 might well feel they should have scored 2 or 3 more goals, but I have to say some really terrific Dutch defending at times to cope with this real English wave. After 12 minutes, you thought Ruth Hine playing that ball forward would have scored at least a hat-trick by some point in the game, but just the 2 goals in that first 12 minutes.
Zie je dit ook nog een beetje zo...
Taggart, oh, it's been won back. Levitt couldn't find the Taggart. Away it comes for Copper for the Dutch. Clatter with the Travers. Young's ball cut out. And she gets it back. 2 minutes left. Coming up on our feature pitch for our live coverage. We will be focusing for the rest of the afternoon into the early evening on the tournament trophy over 65s competition, with the Alliance against Southern Blue Cross. We've got the Southern Cross Red against Netherlands Orange and the Netherlands Blue against the LX White. That's in the tournament trophy over 65s, and there's action all across Glasgow today in day 2 of these Grandmasters European Cup games and trophy games. Had action across all 4 pitches. There's action elsewhere at the pitch 2 here at the National Hockey Centre, and also at Clydesdale for the rest of the 6 games across those pitches. We've had 3 games this morning in the early afternoon at the University of Strathclyde. We have had other matches in the tournament trophy over 70s, and the other game that got going in the women's competition just after this one. And that one game will come towards conclusion as well. In the Alliance GM, one of the 2 Alliance sides, this one the Alliance GM side up against the LX ladies. Hopefully we might well try and bring a score for that, if not at the end of this game, toward the start of our next game in our live TV coverage. And the ball hurls across, whirls down, but not quite for Christina Levitt. Ruth Hine trying to invent something as England in the last 30 seconds here. McTaggart, and it goes. Hine, keeper is down. Hine, side netting, looking for the hat trick, not going to come, but it will be the win for England. 4 goals it is against the Dutch in this contest, which, well, it could have been more, but fair play to the Dutch defence. A lot of credit, because there was so much pressure camped in that 23 in the D. England were for the majority of those 70 minutes, but Chantal Decour will get my player of the match despite the 4 goals conceded. Things got going through Ruth Young in the 4th minute. It was a great start, and Ruth Hine, the captain, with 2 goals in the 9th and 12th minute. Then there wasn't another goal until the very start of the 3rd quarter through Christina Levitt, and then that was that. England tried and pushed for more goals, but well done to the Dutch. Only scored 1 point in the 2015 competition, and may well look like if they play out a bit more expansive with that solid defence they do seem to have, they may well try and grab a bit more than the 1 point that they grabbed in 2015. But for now we will leave you here. We've got the tournament trophy over 65 men's competition. That'll be our main focus for the rest of our afternoon coverage here in pitch 1. But we'll leave you with some of the best of the action as England get going in their defence of the over 60 women's competition with a win by 4 goals to 0 against the Dutch.